Well, good afternoon. This is Vicky Raven from World Kids Cracking the Teenage Puzzle. I'm here for the Q&A session on the 22nd of June 2015. And what I've decided to do while I'm just waiting for everybody to join me is to just give you an example of how I've used the simple five-step process with one of my teenagers, actually. On Friday, my husband went off to Birmingham to collect our son, and he was quite late back because of various traffic hold-ups on the M25. And I'm only insured to drive that car, and we really needed to go to Marks and Spencer's for various items, and some of that was for some food for my daughter to take to a rehearsal, all-day rehearsal the following day. And my husband arrived back after Marks and Spencer's had closed. So she started having a hissy fit that we hadn't got the right cheese for her lunch, and we didn't have the fruit pots or the smoothies. So this big kind of moaning episode started. So what I did was I said to her, okay, so what are the options? And I can see, first of all, I said, I can see that you're upset about that, but the situation is what it is, and it's nobody's fault. And I'm sure Dad didn't want to be out till gone 8 o'clock driving back from Birmingham. So what options do we have? So I gave her various options that we could go to the Marks and Spencer's at the petrol station, or we could go to Sainsbury's, or we could go to Tesco's, or we could go to our local high street Marks and Spencer's the following morning. And she had various objections to all of them, actually. So I said, okay then. So I realise you want to get your fruit from Marks and Spencer's because you like the fruit from there, but how about then if we go to Sainsbury's tonight and we can buy the cheese that you want? So that means I'll be able to make you your pasta salad for tomorrow morning, and then on your way to the rehearsal you can stop off, just go out 20 minutes earlier, and you can stop in Marks and Spencer's and you can buy your fruit tomorrow. So she kind of begrudgingly said that yes, we should do that. So we went to Sainsbury's and we found the cheese, and I said, oh, why don't we just have a look at the fruit and the smoothies while we're here? And actually she did find things that she wanted, and because we were doing something practical to solve her problem, she realised that actually it wasn't the end of the world if she didn't get to Marks and Spencer's. She might have preferred that, but it was nobody's fault, and getting it all in Sainsbury's was was a good compromise. And it made me think of two things, really. It made me think that actually that system worked brilliantly well, because, you know, her goal was to get the things that she needed. The reality was she wasn't very happy with the situation as it was, because it wasn't what she'd planned, but there were several options, and then we chose a way forward. So this is your GROW model. The way forward was to go to Sainsbury's, get some of the food, and then the rest in Marks and Spencer's the following morning. But actually, because she'd calmed down, it worked out quite well, and she realised that it was a good compromise. And the other thing it made me think about was, you know, I thought about the five-step system. You know, I sort of launched straight into the problem, stage 3, what's the problem? And then gave her some options for there being no problem. And then we decided together that it was a good option to go to Sainsbury's. And it also made me think about the concept of, I've now forgotten the word now, but I'm trying to think of compromise. Compromise. How often do we allow our teenagers and actually our little children to have it all their own way, or how often do we want it all our way, and we're not prepared to be tolerant, and we're not prepared to offer a compromise? So I'd offered her a compromise by saying, let's go to Sainsbury's and get some of it, and then I can sort that bit out for you, and you can go to Marks and Spencer's tomorrow. And, you know, eventually, when she'd calmed down and the intensity had been taken out of that sort of disappointment and frustration, she realised that actually, you know, it's not such a big deal, and the compromise was to get everything in Sainsbury's that time. So that's something that I really wanted to draw your attention to, because I don't specifically talk about it in the programme, but I think compromise is a very useful skill, and realising what's actually important and what's not. So I can